Welcome on today's conversation on the future of work, where AI isn't just a buzzword, but a business driver. This is Lenovo Work Reborn, live in Orlando. Hey, Steve, welcome
Hello.
to the Lenovo
Thank you very
booth.
much. Great to be here.
Thank you so much for coming by. We are really excited to have you on the Work Reborn podcast today because we've really highlighted a lot of different voices within the tech space. And, we felt that you would be a really great interviewee candidate. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Well, great to be here. And first of all, let me say I absolutely love my Lenovo laptop. It goes
Yes.
everywhere with me. And so, I have the AI solutions team at Avaya. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Avaya. We're a leading international contact center. We call it connection center now, company, and serve most of the largest organizations in the world with customer experience. So we've been, when the generative AI came out, we went all in. So what we say with Avaya, AI means all in. Because
Okay.
we're 100%, everyone's on board. We spent a lot of money training our colleagues, our employees on AI. Back 2 years ago, I think we're the first in our industry to launch a RAG-based customer experience agent
Wow.
for our customers. And so that was something that really changed customer experience for our customers by being able to use an AI model, generative AI, to do support cases 24/7, anywhere in the world. And so, it's not only that, though. I mean, with AI, we found that it has tremendously increased our customer experience, but also employee experience as well. Because what we found is that by enabling our employees with the latest AI tools, it really not only increases productivity, but significantly reduces stress as well.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, it's like AI is pretty much an infinite canvas. It's like you can do just about anything you need to do. It's just a matter of what you want to do. And so no longer do you have the friction of worrying about deadlines or, if something comes in last minute, can I do it? Because absolutely you can do it. You have the AI tools to help you do it. So we launched our own internal AI assistants using RAG for marketing and for other business units as well. It's just been phenomenal and just really changing the whole company, really being an AI first company now.
I want to dive into that a little bit more, actually, because we recently did a survey. We interviewed over 600 senior IT leaders about what's moving in the market, what's really changing, and AI was one of those important topics. And actually, according to our study, we found that AI-enabled hyper-personalization could actually boost productivity up to 20% in knowledge-intensive roles. So what we mean by that is not just what you're saying here. It's not just like a generalized thing, but if you have a specialty or a really like mentally taxing role, like that gain is there, right? So
Right.
where did you first apply that kind of gain when you were looking to implement that into your organization? What roles were kind of like top of mind?
Yeah, absolutely. When you talk hyper personalization, what we've discovered is it's all about the context. So we've moved from prompt engineering to context engineering now. Because if you give the AI tools more of the context, whether you're in a marketing role, an IT role, an HR role, you have to give the AI tools the context it needs to deliver, the outputs that you want for your particular role. And, for example, if you just start with a plain generic AI assistant that has no knowledge of you, your role, it's useless. It can't really help you.
It's like an intern. That
Yeah.
we're not saying they're useless, but it's when you have entered into the workforce and you don't have that background experience, it takes more training and there's that context that's not ingrained in it,
That's
right?
a great analogy because what we've done is we've enrolled all these new virtual employees, but we haven't given them the knowledge and training they need to really perform.
Right.
And that's where the context comes in. And we announced a few months ago support for Model Context Protocol as well, which we've integrated into the core of our offering for customers because we understand context is so critical, so important. And what that does is that enables you to basically connect with any of your internal systems, external systems, and get more context about the interaction so the AI can do a much better job of delivering the results that you want it to deliver.
I mean, since the organization is so AI first, I'm interested to know, as far as you're projecting new roles that might be entering into your organization regarding the AI, What kinds of new roles do you think we'll start to see that haven't been there before? For example, from our report, we've seen AI risk analyst or AI quality assurance. Like, what
Yeah.
kinds of roles are you guys proactively thinking about, or maybe you personally project could be in place?
Great question. Well, first of all, governance was really important. And we established the governance council a couple of years ago because we realized the importance of providing our employees with a roadmap, a guidelines of how to use AI in a responsible way. And we've developed the AI Center of Excellence now, where we meet regularly that have representation from every part of the business so that we're all working in lockstep around that. As far as roles, I think, we all have pretty much become architects now with vibe coding, with being able, I can just pretty much tell the AI tools I want a video, 3-minute video of this, and they'll make it
Right.
just like that. I mean, it's like we're architects. And then there'll be synthesis as well, I believe, will be roles. So there'll be evolving roles. The key, though, is that we see AI as augmenting employee capabilities, not replacing.
Right.
But to your point, it's like having a whole set of interns
Right.
that can do these things, and now we can be more strategic with what we're working on. And I think it's just raising the level of being strategic throughout the company. I think our employees see it. It's our customers see it. They're experiencing it. It's a whole different mindset as well. It's like now it's nothing's impossible.
Right.
And when you have an infinite canvas, why not think big? Solve the big problems.
You're not stuck in the weeds as much.
Exactly.
Right.
It's not the point solutions anymore. It's like solving the whole traveling, journey problem, the whole, insurance claim journey, the healthcare patient experience. That can be done now.
Do you think we're going to start focusing on more experiential things as a result of AI? Like, we have the tech aspect, but like, what's the human side that you think will be amplified or brought out more as a result?
That's a great question. I was speaking with someone this morning, and I think AI is helping us to better understand our humanity. Because, when we use AI, part of it is a mirror back to ourselves.
It
And
really is.
it helps us to really understand ourselves and to what's important. I think that it changes us. Using AI changes you in a positive way. I don't write text, or emails the same way anymore.
Yeah.
I expect most of us don't anymore. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've learned how to improve it. Brevity and focusing on what's important, right? And making sure the language communicates better. So, I think it's really improving communications within the enterprise, improving, how we do things like reviews, employee reviews and things like that.
I can see that being very valuable, especially if you're trying to enhance the communication one to one as well too.
Yeah. And, the investment that we've made in training our employees on AI, it pays, from a standpoint of customer experience, pays from a standpoint of productivity, but also pays in terms of their career options going forward. Right?
Yes.
And so it gives you because that's the future.
That is the
Right.
future. Tell me about your perspective of what the future of work will look like. We call it work reborn at Lenovo. From your own, your own personal take, what do you think the next few years of your career and the future of the workplace will be? Do you think AI is just a normal thing that we start? It's like not as a hot topic anymore. I don't know.
Well, I think it's just, we'll have a new sense of possibility. I think every day you'll wake up and say, what can I build today? What should I build today? And, the friction will be gone. It's not, you don't have to justify investment in 10 human resources to do something now that you can do before breakfast, right? Just using AI.
Yes.
I think we're in a new age of experimentation. Because now you can experiment and do 20 experiments in one day on something, and it costs you nothing to do, and you learn so much, right? And then I think what that will lead to is more sharing of information, because if it costs less for me to experiment, that means I don't really have too much concern about telling you what I'm doing
Right.
and letting you take the credit for it. It's fine with me. It benefits the company. If it costs me nothing, I can go on to the next experiment. Right?
Right.
So I think a lot of things are going to change. I think AI is going to change us in so many incredibly different ways. I think it's interesting because I have some kids going into college now and trying to discuss with them what they should be studying.
Right.
And that's an interesting question.
Right.
You know,
What's next, right?
Yeah.
Nobody
yeah,
knows.
and
We're all learning at the same time.
So I think everyone's asking those questions, but I tend to think the future is just going to be an incredible future. I mean, I'm just waiting to see what's next. I think we're at the tip of the iceberg as we're seeing here at this conference that, the future is just going to be something that use cases that we haven't even imagined yet.
I would love to have you back on the podcast, Steve, to maybe talk about some of those use cases as we learn them, maybe in a few months or so,
Yeah.
because your insights have really been valuable, and I really appreciate
Well,
the
thank
time
you.
you've taken.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
This
you
has been
so
great.
much for being on the show. If
Thank
anyone
you.
is interested in learning more about the Work Reborn report and tuning into conversations just like this, make sure you check out the link in the description below. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, there's a QR code on the screen right over here. Scan it and grab your copy of the Work Reborn report. And that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us live in Orlando for this amazing episode of Work Reborn. I've been your host, Rita Risha, and it's been a pleasure to bring you insightful conversations from around the world, especially at this event, on how we are bringing new life to the modern workplace. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to stay tuned on more ways that we are doing just that, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe our channel, and download a copy of the Work Reborn report today.
Lenovo.